right? Her brother grumbled his disdain for that ridiculous question. There was some charity shindig hosted by Cooper for the Wounded Warrior Project. Fire started in the kitchen, but didn't reach the grand ballroom. 1%ers probably trampled the minimum wagers on their way out. Not so far off the mark, she imagined. She could see it as clearly as if she'd been there. He would have been seated at one of those $5 zillion a plate tables, hand resting casually on the back of his date's chair, showing just enough of his bespoke tailored shirt to reveal platinum cufflinks. His other hand would have been mid-rake through his dark, wavy, overproduced hair that could do with some serious mussing. A member of his security detail would have leaned over and whispered in his ear, "We have a situation, Mr. Mayor." Then full throttle to get the most powerful man in the city to safety. Y pushed through the main door of the hotel. The extravagantly furnished lobby was empty and unscarred except for muddied carpets and a few gabbing firemen. The smell of smoke scented the air. The smell of death to most people, but not to a firefighter. This was what they trained, lived, breathed for. After checking in with the 59 LT, Y and Alex headed to their assigned sweep area, staff offices on the first floor. Looking in, calling out, closing doors, assuring themselves that no one remained on site. No doubt the mayor was chin-wagging with Uncle Larry at Incident Command right about now, getting an update on the situation. The commissioner would assure him they had it under control, but Mr. Mayor would probably insist on staying so he could project his much-vaunted leadership qualities and preference for the buck stops here. Whatever looked good for the cameras with the election just 6 weeks off. "So what's going on with you lately?" Y asked. "What you mean?" "You seem a bit less..." He stopped and did the Y Fox patented sniff and squint. Alex, than usual. Nothing's going on. In truth, she was still reeling from Michael Martinez's unceremonious dumping 3 days ago in the middle of dinner at Smith & Jones, using, of all things, the work excuse. She knew all about the work excuse to slip out mid-date. She had invented it. But she'd thought it was going reasonably well, until he practically ran from that restaurant like his nutsack was on fire. Just can't find a decent date. Y huffed out a laugh. "Yeah, I heard Martinez was a blowout. What are we going to do with you?" You'd think having 2 brothers who are former Marines, another one who's the best boxer in the CFD, and one more who's intimately familiar with all of the gay and most of the straight men in Chicago, I'd be covered. But, oh no, my own family of he-men are useless. I introduced you to someone. He pushed open a door, scanned the room, and pulled it shut again. She mirrored his actions on the opposite side of the corridor. "You mean the former Navy SEAL who kept insisting there would always be secrets between us because..." She gave it air quotes, the effect somewhat lost in her thick CFD issue gloves. "That's the way I roll, babe." He was a solid guy. "Brother mine, I would like to meet someone who doesn't sleep with a knife under his pillow, in case his loose lips force him to make a choice between his duty and my need to know. I'd have to wear earplugs in case he blurts out old mission details in his sleep." Damn, you're fussy. Maybe she was. Maybe she gave off a vibe of not worth the trouble that condemned every date from the outset. But surely there was someone out there for her. After the Sam Cochrane rescue incident, she had spent months fending off weasels propositioning her on Facebook to come rescue them. Or, more particularly, their dicks from the confines of their pants. And those were the A-pile. Then she'd made the classic mistake of falling for the smooth talk of a bona fide charmer, a customer at her family's bar in Wicker Park, Dempsey's on Damon. One of those Board of Trade suits who got his kicks slumming it with firefighters and cops on the weekends. 3, okay, 5 shots of tequila later, and she dropped her panties faster than a hooker's